What if I told you the collapse of an entire galaxy was predicted and planned for? Welcome to the world of Foundation, where science meets prophecy, and a single math equation could change the fate of trillions. In Apple TV+'s epic sci-fi saga, we are not just watching empires rise and fall, we are watching a 1,000-year chess game unfold, designed by one man, Hari Seldon. But what exactly is the Foundation? Is it a cult? A think tank? A rebellion? And what is the mysterious Seldon Plan that everyone keeps talking about? Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. Today, we are diving deep into the organization that's quietly rewriting the galaxy's future, from its humble start on a remote planet called Terminus, to becoming the greatest threat the Empire has ever faced. If you're new to Foundation or just want to make sense of its sprawling story, this is your ultimate guide to everything you need to know about the Foundation organization, the Seldon Plan, and how it all changes across seasons 1 through 3. Let's get started. What is the Foundation? Let's start with the basics. The Foundation is an organization created to preserve and rebuild civilization after the predicted fall of the Galactic Empire. On the surface, its mission was to compile an Encyclopedia Galactica, a vast archive of human knowledge that could survive a collapse. But underneath that official purpose was a far more strategic and transformative goal: to become the seed of a second galactic empire. The mastermind behind it all? Hari Seldon, a genius mathematician and the inventor of Psychohistory, a predictive science that uses statistics to forecast the behavior of large populations. And Seldon's forecast was grim. Who created the Foundation? Hari Seldon and the Psychohistory Revolution. Hari Seldon foresaw the fall of the Empire through his groundbreaking theory of psychohistory. His predictions weren't vague prophecies, they were cold, hard mathematics. According to the Seldon equations, the Galactic Empire would collapse within 5 centuries, plunging humanity into a 30,000-year dark age. But he also found a solution. If a controlled mechanism of influence could be introduced, a foundation, this dark age could be shortened to just 1,000 years. To put this plan into motion, Seldon submitted his research to the Empire. It caused chaos. In 12,067 era Imperial, during the reign of Emperor Cleon XII, Seldon's theory reached the public, and just as he predicted, fear and violence followed. Hari Seldon vs. the Empire, Trial and Exile. After a devastating terrorist bombing of the Star Bridge, the Empire cracked down. Hari Seldon was arrested and put on trial for inciting rebellion. But instead of execution, Seldon manipulated his sentencing into a strategic move. The Empire exiled him and his followers to Terminus, a desolate planet on the edge of the galaxy, under the pretense of creating an encyclopedia. In truth, it was the beginning of the Seldon Plan. Seldon's followers, including scientists, engineers, and thinkers, departed for Terminus aboard the slow ship Deliverance. But on the journey, tragedy struck. Hari was murdered by his own protege, Rach Foss, in a secret plan that involved saving another key player, Gul Dornick, who was ejected in a cryopod and presumed lost.
They will live on! Our world will live on!
What is the Galactic Empire? To understand the Foundation's importance, we need to look at what it's trying to replace. The Galactic Empire, ruled from the planet Tranta, was a vast bureaucracy that controlled over 8 trillion people across the galaxy. In the Apple TV+ show, it's governed by the genetic dynasty, a line of cloned emperors: Brother Dawn, Young, Brother Day, Ruler, and Brother Dusk, Elder, all clones of the first emperor, Cleon I. But by the time Seldon enters the picture, the Empire is already rotting from within. It's stagnant, overly reliant on rituals, and blind to its decline. It has the illusion of control, but psychohistory reveals that the collapse is inevitable. The rulers ignore this at their peril. The execution of the Anacreon and Thespis delegations, orbital bombings, and brutal imperial tactics only serve to alienate the outer reach and accelerate the coming fall.
Imperial cloning brought peace.
Our genetic dynasty has reigned for...
Terminus and the early days of the Foundation. After Hari's death aboard the Deliverance, the colonists arrive on Terminus. It's a harsh, resource-scarce world, but it becomes the birthplace of the Foundation. Initially led by Louis Pirenne, the Foundation struggles to maintain its cover story of creating an encyclopedia. But over time, especially with guidance from the mysterious vault, a structure that projects holograms of Hari Seldon. People begin to understand their true role. They are not archivists. They are the architects of the future. The Seldon Plan, 1,000 years to save civilization. The Seldon Plan is the backbone of the entire series. It's not a prophecy, it's a carefully calculated roadmap that accounts for human psychology, sociology, and politics. Here's how it works. A history unfolds through pre-calculated crises, known as Seldon crises. Each crisis is a major turning point that tests the Foundation's strength. If the Foundation responds correctly, the plan remains on track. At each milestone, a projection of Hari Seldon appears to confirm success or warn of deviation. What's genius about the plan is that it accounts for mass behavior, not individuals. But the wild card is always human emotion, especially from people like Gul Dornick and Salva Hardin, whose individual choices challenge the very idea of determinism.
Foundation doesn't stand a chance if we don't get this ship off planet right now!
Conflict with the Empire and the periphery. As the Foundation grows in power, it begins to influence the Outer Reach, worlds abandoned or neglected by the Empire. These include a Anacreon, a Thespis, a Smyrno, a Sezhel, a Conum, a Daribo, a Gliptal IV. Over time, the Foundation uses its superior scientific knowledge to gain control, sometimes by trade, sometimes by diplomacy, and occasionally through force. This doesn't go unnoticed. The Empire, now shrinking, sees the Foundation as a threat. But by 12,240 era Imperial, it has already begun to contract. The Outer Reach is lost, and even the Empire's advanced technologies, like spacers, are failing. The Foundation, now possessing whisper ships and jump drive technology that even the Empire lacks, is no longer just surviving, it's thriving. In Season 2, the Foundation sheds its naive beginnings and starts to evolve. It stops working on the encyclopedia and focuses instead on expanding its influence. This includes establishing technological superiority, creating a religious phase, where science is packaged as divine power to control populations, building alliances with outer worlds, a strategic manipulation of crises to stay ahead. And by 12,392 era Imperial, the Foundation has grown into a dominant force, now operating from New Terminus, a planet 1 parsec away from the original. With over 800 planets under its influence, including critical breadbasket worlds, it's now a rival to the Galactic Empire itself.
Yeah, that's what the Second Foundation was meant to be doing, Gale!
Leadership and the Third Crisis. The Foundation's leadership has changed significantly over the decades. Hari Seldon was its spiritual founder, guiding early policy through simulations and posthumous appearances. Louis Pirenne led during the early Terminus years, but died aboard the warship Invictus. Seth Cermak, appearing later, led during a more aggressive and expansionist era. By Season 3, the Foundation is led by Maya Indbur, operating from a space station above New Terminus. The shift from director to mayor reflects the Foundation's evolution from a scholarly project to a political powerhouse. But power breeds division. By the time of Season 3, a group known as the Traders, a faction that helped expand Foundation influence through commerce, wants to secede. Their rebellion sparks the Third Seldon Crisis, a massive internal threat that could derail the entire plan. It's the first time the Foundation is threatened not by outsiders, but by its own people. And with psychohistory vulnerable to unpredictable human behavior, the question arises, is the plan still on track?
It's time to make yourself useful, Empire.
The Empire's decline. Meanwhile, the Empire is in freefall. It's lost control of much of the galaxy. The Spacer class, essential for instant travel across space, is gone. Military deployments now rely on outdated jump gates. The once godlike genetic dynasty is fragmented, weakened by infighting and rebellion. As the Foundation rises, the Empire shrinks, becoming increasingly irrelevant. The balance of power is shifting. A core theme throughout Foundation is the tension between determinism and free will. The Seldon Plan assumes people behave predictably in large numbers, but key figures like Gul Dornick, Salva Hardin, and later, Brother Constant, constantly disrupt that assumption. Their choices alter the plan's trajectory. And as Hari Seldon himself admits later, even the most complex math can't account for the human heart. By Season 3, we see a growing question. Can the plan survive people who refuse to play by the rules?
We are taking the planet!
Said you were here to negotiate terms.
Our nerdy thoughts. The Foundation isn't just a colony. It's not just a plan. It's an idea that civilization doesn't have to die with the fall of empires. That knowledge, science, and human cooperation can outlive tyranny. And that even in the darkest times, there is a roadmap back to the light. Through war, religion, trade, politics, and betrayal, the Foundation continues to evolve. Whether the Seldon Plan holds or collapses, that's the mystery at the heart of this epic saga. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Apple TV Plus' Foundation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss more sci-fi breakdowns, lore explorations, and character deep dives. And let us know in the comments, do you think the Seldon Plan will succeed? Or is free will too chaotic to contain? Until next time, may your math be accurate and your crises well managed.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.